Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video. Now this is the August question and answer video. I do these every single month, basically to give back to you guys or interact with you guys. And now before we get into the extra questions, you'll have to bear with me for maybe about 5 minutes because I would just want to introduce the series to those who, you know, don't know it, and I'm going to give some announcements. So maybe, okay, there'll be, I normally do this on the other series, there'll be an annotation right here if you want to skip the announcements and the introduction to the series and go straight into the questions. So firstly, the series itself, I do a monthly question and answer because I feel that interaction is key when you're doing this type of channel on YouTube. You guys are trying to learn a few things about League of Legends and you have questions. A lot of the time it may be asking, you know, my opinion on something, asking why I'm doing something in game. And I do like to answer them. I do because that's a learning experience. And a lot of YouTubers, they only do questions and answers on milestones and, you know, key times of their channel, you know, 20,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, where not a lot of YouTubers do a lot of interaction. So that's basically the main reasons I do mine, is that you guys can answer a question and you're most likely going to get it answered. And one thing to say is if you did put a question in on the video that asked for questions and I don't get around to it, make sure you just like look if I replied to it in text, because that's what I usually do. If I don't get around to a question, I will most likely reply to it in text. Now these videos are generally about half an hour long. They can go longer because obviously there are a lot of questions because I ask Facebook, Twitter, and I even make a YouTube video now to get questions. So yeah, there is a lot of them. So around half an hour, could be longer, could be less, don't really know. And then finally, the announcements before we get into the questions. So the first one, and it's kind of a mixed one, the Gold to Platinum series and Diamond content on the channel. So if you've been subscribed to the channel for quite some time, you'll know that I used to only do Diamond content. I never really did Smurf content on the channel. Diamond content was it. Obviously, recently, I'm starting to do pretty much only Smurf content. And this is something I do actually want to change. It's something that I've basically gone off what people want from what I know, and it's fairly popular. People seem to be learning quite a bit from it, but I'm not happy in myself that I'm only doing Smurf content. So the series Gold to Platinum will be continuing. I'm going to be recording some today because it's only like 9:45 in the morning right now. I'm doing this video fairly early. But yeah, I'm going to be continuing that series. But once I hit Platinum, we're going to be having a small break, probably about a 2-week break from doing any Smurf content on the channel, and I'll be doing Diamond content. And then, yes, the series will be going from Platinum to Diamond. I will be doing that, but it will be less often because I do want Diamond content to go up on the channel. If that means there's 2 episodes of Plat to Diamond on the channel a week, 1 episode of a Diamond series, that's fine, but I do want to get Diamond series back on the channel. So that's one thing to say. Another thing to say is I express my condolences or whatever to Impact. He's another YouTuber that does support content. He was recently doing a series like Bronze to Diamond or something along that lines, and he actually got his account banned. We're a bit unsure of why right now. The Riot have come out saying the Bronze to Diamond type series are against their terms of service. Nobody was aware of this. Nobody's read it in any of their rules. So he's trying to clear that up, and you know, it's turned out that he messaged Riot and got his main account banned as well, simply because it's linked to the Smurf. We don't, you know, it's a weird, confusing situation. But obviously I have to be a little bit careful with myself, and that's kind of why as soon as I finish the Gold to Plat series, I'm going to have a little bit of break, let this stuff cool down, and hopefully things will be kind of resumed to normal, and Riot will kind of say, you're allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do this. So that's what we're hoping for. And then the final announcement before we get into the questions. If you follow my Facebook page, obviously I do have social medias, both Twitter and Facebook. Facebook was the main one that I used for private messaging. If someone had a question, they could come on the Facebook, really easy, and ask me a question. I actually have disabled private messaging on the Facebook page. Long story short, this guy private messaged me saying he wanted to do videos with me. I said no because he actually hasn't even got a YouTube video channel yet. So he's got 0 subscribers. He's got 0 experience with the whole thing. And simply because I said no, he got very, very toxic. And Facebook has a terrible banning system when it comes to Facebook public pages. So I've just disabled the whole thing. So if you do want to send me a private message, have any private questions, etc., If you want to inquire about lessons or whatever, you can send private messages to me now on YouTube. If you go on my channel itself, go onto the About tab, scroll down, and there is a send message button. That's how you do it, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's a sad situation. I probably will re-enable it eventually, but, you know, it's a bit sad. But anyway, we're going to get into the questions now. So welcome if you did skip the introduction and the announcements. But yeah, we're going to get into questions. So normally I have my hat, but I don't have that today because I found out we don't actually have any paper to print stuff on. So I'm simply just going to read off the webpage over here to the right. It's going to be a little bit less organized than it normally is, but it should be fine. So, starting with, obviously the topics can be anything. There is very little that I won't answer. Obviously, if something gets a little bit too personal, then I won't. But, you know, most things I will. And most of the questions are League of Legends themed. Obviously, there are that are not. But the first one is from Best Bra, or Bray. He has 4 questions in total. It seems that one of them is League related. 3 of them are not. So the first one is, what is the most awkward moment in my life? Awkward moment in my life. Honestly, I don't really know. I haven't really had many awkward moments in my life. I'm mainly a confident person. So if I do something, it's normally because I mean to do it. And if I didn't mean to do it, I can kind of brush it off and act normal. So yeah, I haven't really had an awkward moment in my life. So yeah. Do I smoke or drink? I do not smoke. I'm actually, like, I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm really against smoking. I've had grandparents that smoked for many, many years, and they realised, you know, they shouldn't, and they quit cold turkey that day. After smoking for about 40 years, they just went, nah, and then stopped. That was impressive as hell. But I'll never smoke in my life. I drink occasionally. I'm not a binge drinker or anything. You know, if it's a social event, I'll drink, but I won't drink just for the sake of it. What is the youngest girl I would date? Well, I'm 20 years old, so probably 18 would be the youngest. Any lower than that, I'd feel probably a bit weird. So yeah, 18 maybe. Maybe even 19, you know, who knows. And then the League of Legends related question. Darius was my main in Season 2 from level 20 to 30. Everybody complained that he is a noob champion on those on the enemy team, so I stopped playing him throughout Season 3. Maybe in 1% of my games I played him. To prove myself that I can win without a noob champion, and I forgot about him in Season 4. I noticed that he is quite popular right now. Should I return to him or go with other top laners? So the thing is, the term noob champ comes with basically skill cap of how easy the champion is to play. You know, the noob champions, you could say, you know, Annie, potentially, Ryze, Master Yi, stuff like that, you know. Just because they're easy to play doesn't mean they're a noob champion. You know, they are designed for a little bit of a less skill level, but they're still a very viable champion. Darius is a very good solo queue champion, and I'd imagine you'd be called a noob champion because you'd win lane on him very easily. So honestly, my biggest advice is play what you enjoy. You know, League of Legends is a game after all, and if you're not playing to have fun, what's the point in playing? So just ignore the haters and play what you want to play. That's all I have to really say. So thanks for the question. The fanboy1928 asks, with Voyboy having great success with Tristana mid in LCS, I think we'll see more AD carries going mid? No, I personally don't. The only one I could potentially see is Lucian, potentially. You know, Faker could pull it out in Worlds or just something. Tristana, you have to remember, they say it was a mistake the first game they did it. It wasn't, you know, it was fairly obvious it wasn't a mistake, but it's basically a cheese. You know, every team does cheeses. You know, Fnatic back in the day, they used teleport when it wasn't popular to cheese people. It's the same with this Tristana mid. It's basically people don't really know how to play it against it right now, and you know, it's that simple. But now with the reduce of exhaust, the Talon is coming back, Zed is coming back. Them type of champions obviously counter AD carries quite hard, so you'll probably see the rise of them champions if AD carries go mid lane, and that will put people off playing AD carry. That simple. So thanks for the question. Next one is by Nikri. He's a fellow YouTuber of mine. He has 13,000 subscribers, so hi there. What inspired me to, at the very start of my YouTube career, Boredom honestly inspired me to start. I was on a gap year from sixth form to university. So for those who are in America, which I know a lot of you are, high school and college. In between that, we actually have a different thing in England or Great Britain that is basically upper high school. You go to a different place and you do a different type of qualification that gets you into university. So in between that and uni, I had a gap year. I had just had a year off and I was bored as hell. I regret having one, but if I never had one, I wouldn't have started YouTube. So did that. And obviously, I have my great YouTubers that I look up to with Jesse Cox, Total Biscuit. That I look up to them guys amazingly. And even though I'm nowhere near as good as what they do or whatever, I try to echo a little bit of my style and what they do. But yeah, pretty much boredom is the question. So thanks for the question, Nikru. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. I'm so bad at pronouncing names, it's unreal. So, next one is by, again, another hard to pronounce name, Silulala. Oh my god. How long do I think I'll be doing YouTube for? Do I think it will become full time or will you go chase a dream? Okay, so I'm someone that plans quite a bit in my life. My friends will laugh at me if they ever watch this video, but I do plan quite a lot. I'm in university. I kind of know what I'll be doing for the next couple of years. I know what modules I'll be doing, etc. When I come out of university, I do have kind of a set plan, which doesn't involve YouTube. It has to be honest. If YouTube does take off rapidly, and I do mean, to start thinking about if you want to do YouTube full time, you basically have to be on about 100,000 subscribers, maybe 150,000 subscribers, and then you can start taking it really, really seriously. Which obviously I'm very far away. I've been doing YouTube now for over a year and I'm at 23,500 subscribers, which to me I'm happy with. I only expected to have 10 subscribers. But to go full time, I'd need a lot more. So I do need that ignition if I were to do this full time of, jump to the next level. But if, the plan is basically, and, I'm expressing what I do. So obviously I'm doing a gaming degree. I do have contacts around gaming companies that I personally know. One of them being like Jagex in Cambridge. I do know a couple people in there, so I have potential to go work for them. If you don't know who Jagex are, they make RuneScape, obviously a very big game, and they're actually based in Cambridge, so my local town. I live in Cambridge, so it would be ideal if I can go work for them. I do have a couple of other options. Riot Games is always stuck in my mind, but I know Riot pretty much gets the best from all over the country, and I'm not the best. I'm going for a first in my degree, and they'll be getting people for like publications in their degrees. So, there'll be a difference there. But my alternative, and many people will go, that's weird, is actually being an air traffic controller. I'm someone that I've always liked planes. I've gone on holidays all my life, and from a very young age, I've always liked planes. Not to the extent of plane watching or anything, but I do find them interesting. I can sit in front of my computer for hours a day, and that's what an air traffic controller does. It's a very stressful job, but I'm someone that stays calm in stressful situations. I can deal with things. I always think clear. And you only work 4 hours a day as an air traffic controller, and you earn like very good money if you do it for a long time. So that is the alternate plan if I can't get into a gaming work, if I can't do YouTube. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for the question. Next one by Adam Games. In my opinion, who is the most underrated jungler in the current meta? I myself don't like the holy trinity of Lee Sin, Evelynn, and Elise. He doesn't mind Elise, but he doesn't like the others. So yeah, they are the holy trinity. They are kind of like the bee's knees of jungling right now. So the most underrated jungler in the current meta. I can't say Rengar because Rengar is actually popular, and even though people aren't performing on him well, I'd still say he is fairly good if played correctly. Jarvan, again, he's fairly popular. I'd probably say he's better than a lot of people lay on. He is very good, easily a competitive pick. But the most underrated, hard to really say. It's hard to kind of think this through when people literally in solo queue only play the Holy Trinity, more or less. I'd probably say Gragas, maybe. Gragas obviously is a very popular top laner, and even popular mid now. His kit is still good for jungling, if you're good at him. So maybe Gragas. He can definitely be played as jungle easily nowadays, so maybe that. Next question. by Troll Gamer Plays Games. I play Donga Tops Heimerdinger. Do I think that is a good idea? It's up to you. If you enjoy playing him top, if you do well on him, then nobody can say otherwise. You know, there are Diamond 1 Heimerdinger mains out there. So as long as you do well, that's the thing. If you play well, and if you're not trolling, like your name kind of says, then it's fine. You know, I say any champion can work, and I'd say the only few that I wouldn't advise people to play certain champions, but you can play them if you play them well. That's simple. So anyway, that's that question. Next one by Bosco Arcade. Do I have any advice on how to deal with ladder anxiety? I really enjoy playing League, but most days I log in, check who's online on my friends list, hover over the Play Now button, and end up just closing the client and going onto Twitch to watch streams rather than just playing. I don't care about losing since it's part of the game and how you get better. I don't know, I just get nervous before I jump into queue. Okay, so this is a problem that a lot of people have in League of Legends. I'd say maybe over a third of people have this problem. I used to have this problem. Everybody's really gone through some form of ladder anxiety. I do have a League discussion on it, but it's a rather old one, so maybe I'll make an updated one. But my honest opinion will just think it's a game. Do you get nervous playing Call of Duty like online? Because, you know, in Call of Duty, your KDA is on the line. Your win rate is on the line. Do you get nervous? Probably not. You know, you just kind of think of that. You know, it's a game, and whatever you do, just make sure you're having fun. And yeah, as you said, you even admit you don't mind losing, so you shouldn't be nervous. If a lot of people's whole anxiety comes from, I don't want to lose rating. But if you're past that point, you don't really care and you realize it's necessary, then yeah, just play the game for fun. Just realize I'm having fun in this game. What I'd recommend is maybe going to Team Builder or ARAM, because they tend to be like Team Builder. You specifically can play a champion you're comfortable with. You pick the champion you're going to play from the get-go. So maybe that will ease your nerves a little bit. And again, ARAM is just fun. You know, I love ARAM. I leveled a whole Smurf on ARAM. So yeah, just do that, and maybe that will cool your nerves a bit. And maybe just do some stress exercises before you go into solo queue. You know, a good idea is do 10 push-ups. You know, a lot of people get hyped up so much, they get so nervous. Doing 10 push-ups, do 10 jumping jacks, get rid of that energy. Exert the energy somewhere else and you'll calm down. It's a very good idea. That is one thing to say. If ever you're like hyperventilating, you can hardly breathe, do 10 jumping jacks, as it does help. Trust me. Next one by Mike Ray, sorry. Do I play Hearthstone? If yes, would I consider making Hearthstone videos? So obviously you're quite new to the channel. I did actually do a Hearthstone series not too long ago, but I kind of got bored of it. I do play Hearthstone a little bit at the moment. I played last season, so the month of July, and I got to rank 14. But I only played for 2 days, or 2 or 3 days, and I got to rank 14, which isn't bad. But maybe this season of the season of August, I'll go for maybe like rank 5 and below. Would I make videos on it? Maybe again. I don't really know. You know, I have the Valiant Hearts series going on the channel every now and then that is kind of non-league related. But I know Hearthstone probably been more popular than Valiant Hearts, but I kind of only do one non-league thing at a time. But anyway, thanks for the question. Next one by Owen Struck App. Barrier or heal in patch 4.13? So obviously I've not played a lot of solo queue. I've mentioned I'm only really playing on my Smurf, and I actually went on holiday a couple of days ago, so I've only played one game since I've been back. From what I can tell, it's still heal. Heal on the AD carry and ignite or exhaust on the support. I don't think it's changed. If I am wrong, you know, I am wrong. I haven't been really playing in a long while. I've only been watching streams, etc. But I do still think it's heal. So next one by Awesome Black Alien. That's a weird name. Can I do every game, or can I do a game every day to gold to plat? Also, can I make plat to diamond challenger when I'm done? So every day, probably not, because, you know, as I say, these games take quite a lot of time. This summer, it is boiling. That's why I'm actually doing this video so early in the day. And I'm going to actually be probably recording these videos, the gold to plat, right after I do this, because it's actually quite cool right now. In the middle of the day, or maybe 1 or 2 o'clock, it gets really hot, and it's hard to explain my room, but I'm at the back of the house, so the sun hits the house, and I can't have the fan on when I'm recording because of the noise it would hit the mic. So my room gets very, very hot. So doing big recording sessions, etc., I just can't do it right now. So I can't do it every day. Every other day kind of suits me more. And I said earlier that I will be continuing the series from Plat to Diamond. Just I'll probably be having a little break when we do hit Platinum. So anyway, thanks for the question. Next one by Sam Bowman. What is my ideal team comp for League as of patch 4.13? Also, what changes would you make to the game right now if I could buff nerf champions? My ideal team comp for patch 4.13 would be Gragas top. Actually, he got nerfed. No, I'm still going to go with Gragas because he brings a lot of utility. Gragas top lane. Eve jungle. Syndra mid. Tristana bot, AD carry, and Thresh support, I think. That's kind of off the top of my head. Obviously, if I had more time to think about it, I'd probably be able to come up with a better team comp. But that team comp doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. It can engage easy with Thresh Eve. It can disengage easy with Trist Gragas. Has a lot of damage with Trist Hypercarry AD, the rest being AP. Has good tanky champions with Thresh, Gragas, Eve. Has a burst with Syndra that can get rid of one champion straight away. Yeah, I think that team comp pretty much has everything. So maybe. And what if I could buff nerf any champion? What would it be? Make Renekton's model bigger because it's a nerf. It's not really a nerf, but trust me, it makes you play a little bit weird. Or it makes me play a little bit weirder when I'm playing Renekton nowadays. But yeah, I don't know. Thanks for the questions. Next one by Philly Nevo. What do you think are the best streamers to watch to learn about top and jungle at the moment? I used to watch a lot of Saint Vicious and Voyboy for those lanes, but I can't seem to catch them on stream anymore. So I'm looking for other options. People who explain they do, people who explain what they do, not like Sneaky, Double Lift or Wild Turtle. They never seem to say anything you can learn from them. Okay. For an extra question, what do I think about Trick 2G and generally what he teaches his viewers? Okay, so the first answer to the question, for those who are unaware, Curse actually have gone over to Azubu, a different streaming website. So if you do want to go watch them, they are actually streaming quite a lot, so you can go over to Azubu and watch them. English, though the best channels I seem to go to, because obviously I watch a lot of streams myself. I'm still learning, obviously. Everybody is. So going through each lane, if I can do that off the top of my head. Mid lane, I'd always still say Skara is the best for learning how to mid. He doesn't stream as often anymore, but he always explains what he's doing. He's the best at doing that. He's just very good at doing that. So if you ever see Skara online, again, do that. Voyboy obviously now is a mid laner, so he'd probably still be good for mid lane. Jungle, Odd One is generally quite good at explaining what he does. Saint Vicious does it occasionally, like you say. Dominate, I know, does that occasionally. I will dominate from Curse. Meteos occasionally does that as well. Top lane. What top laners explain what they do? Sounds weird, but Cruiser the Bruiser, he used to be on Dignitas. He didn't perform amazingly, but he actually streams and he doesn't have a lot of big following. He may only have 100 people watching him, but he actually explains what he does quite well. Cruiser the Bruiser. So look him up if you do want to learn about top lane. That's the only one I can kind of think of the top of my head. Oh, Dyrus, again, very occasionally. That's one of the things to say. You know, usually he's dead quiet, but maybe once a week he'll have basically a day that he'll just explain what he does. And he doesn't stream as much right now because of Loco Doco, etc. But yeah, Dyrus is okay when he's in the mood to do it. Bot lane, AD carry, I'm a cutie pie. Easily probably the best AD carry streamer. And Robert X. Lee. Them two probably are the best if you want to learn. And then support, Afro Moo or Crepo, probably. probably. Even Edward sometimes, but obviously he has that Russian accent, which some people find hard to understand. So that's them. And then what do I think about Trick2G and what he generally teaches his viewers? Honestly, I'm not a massive fan. He's a big into that disrespect thing. It's not me. I'm the complete opposite to him. So if you like that type of thing, I'm not going to bash you. I'm not going to bash him. Just he's the complete opposite to me, and yeah, I don't really like it. But he's a very good Udyr. He's a very good volleyball. So if you want to go learn them champions, go watch him. That's all I have to say. But other than that, I'm not a massive fan. But anyway, thanks for questions. So we have been going for about 25 minutes. Because we had the 5-minute announcement at the start, I probably will make this video about 35 minutes long. So it will actually be half an hour of answering questions. But we do still have a lot of questions. So I might even make a part 2. Which I normally don't do if it's just a monthly thing. But because we have so many questions, maybe I'll continue. So next one by Roscoe2120. Can I do a bronze to gold series to prove that there's no ELO hell? Honestly, without sounding cutthroat, I don't need to prove something that just simply doesn't exist. Many people do think it exists because it's how they rationalize, etc. And many people get very aggressive over this subject, which I don't really understand the aggression, but it simply just doesn't exist. It's proof in the pudding that, forget about the whole Smurf thing. To me, Smurfs kind of prove that it doesn't exist because Smurfs can simply rise through the ranks really easily. But say the first time that I climbed, I was silver in Season 2, wasn't really trying, and I kind of believed ELO Hell existed. But I didn't put a lot of effort into League. Season 3 came around, I started actually putting an effort in, I started learning champions more, I started learning builds that actually worked. Just started learning the game, and I got Diamond 1 in Season 3. Just that simple. I put effort into the game, and I got better, and I improved, I got Diamond 1. Most of the people that say ELO Hell exists, they probably just don't try. They probably simply just don't know what they're doing, simply don't try, and they just blame others for them not going up. Simple as that. So I won't be doing a bronze to bronze series or anything like that. This one is by Isaac. Huz, how do I feel about League now compared to when I felt about it at the start? And where do I see League being in the next 2 to 3 years? And what is my plans after League if it happens to slowly die out? So like any game, obviously my opinions have changed about League of Legends when I first started. Obviously the same with World of Warcraft. It's something that does change. League of Legends to me when I first started was simply a game. It was simply something for me to have fun. An alternative to World of Warcraft. An alternative to COD. Where now League of Legends is obviously a little bit more serious. Especially for me, that's someone that has a YouTube channel involved. It's probably a different experience to me than it is many of you because you don't have 20,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel when the game is actually based off League. But yeah, League, I still have fun, but it's less innocent fun. When I first started, it was just pure innocence fun. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just having fun. Now, I kind of know what I'm doing. I get frustrated with myself if I'm playing bad, but I'm very happy if I play well. I know when I'm playing well and I know when I'm playing bad. I know if I do something good, bad, etc. Which at the start I didn't. So it's just more serious for me now. It's just something that's happened. But I still have fun. I definitely have fun. The next question, thanks for the question. Second part, sorry. Where do I see League being in 2 to 3 years and what's my plans after League if it happens to die out? League's just going to continue to grow, honestly. Japan is only starting now to play it, and obviously Japan is a very big market. So they're going to get probably their own... I see them getting their own league, like LCS, within the next year or two. So that will be a thing. They'll be coming to World. So definitely the Japanese market will become big. I see it just growing. I see it potentially being on TV. Dota 2, no matter what you think of it, on ESPN, it's a massive sports network. On the channel ESPN 2, they actually have the Dota 2 championship on that channel. So I expect League of Legends definitely to go on like ESPN or Sky Sports or something, which is going to be huge. So hopefully it becomes just a bit more accepted in culture. So in like a sports bar may show League of Legends. Who knows? But yeah, that's the kind of thing. And what are my plans after League slowly dies out? Just go to a different game. I'm a gamer. It's what I am. I'll definitely be gaming for the majority of my life. The only time I see myself stopping gaming is probably when I get a family of my own. You know, I don't think I'll be gaming a lot if I have a baby to raise, you know, in like 5-10 years time, put it that way. So anyway, thanks for the question. Next one by Simon Amos. So this is a YouTube one. He's recently started his own channel, but he feels that his videos are as good as a quality as any other YouTubers, mine included. So he would like to know what software I use to record my videos. Also, I would like to advertise my channel, whatever. So I'm not really going to answer this. I am making a whole video to do with this topic, so I'd recommend just simply watching that. That should be coming out in the next couple of days, and that covers just general advice that I have, what software I'm using, etc. And in that video, I do give permission for everybody to advertise their YouTube below. So advertise your channel there, and yeah, that will happen. So we have maybe about 5 more minutes left, and I'm probably going to make a part 2 because, yeah, we still have a lot of questions to go. So yeah, part 2 will be coming. I normally don't do part 2, but just because we have so many, we're going to do that. So, next one by Othman Al-Musalim, I think. When you are in silver/bronze, how do you find a team to play with, or should I wait till you get platinum plus? And the second one is, why did I stop doing league discussions? So, first one, biggest, obviously the easiest one is just real life friends or a friend group that you have. Obviously mine, many of my real life friends, I do have some that play League of Legends, but not seriously. Forums, obviously the League of Legends forums, there are Facebook groups out there which someone did a reply to him. Yeah, just forums is the main thing, you know, just put yourself out there on the League of Legends forum saying you're looking for a team, not that serious, just a little bit of fun, and go from there. Another good way is in your solo queue game, start adding people from different roles and ask all them people, do you want to make a team together? And who knows, it could happen like that. It does happen. And so why did I stop doing league discussions? Don't really know, just didn't really have any topics or other topics to do. If I don't have topics, I kind of can't do the video. I may be getting back into them though if I can get topics to come up with, or you know, whatever. But yeah, thanks for the questions. Next one by Da Thunder Pawaza. Hey Huz, really appreciate you taking the time for Huzzians. Okay, apparently my subs are now called Huzzians. I had one question. If you're silver 5, can you drop to bronze 1 by losing games? Yeah, you can. If you lose enough at 0 LP, then your MMR will drop so low that you will drop out. It just will happen. So yeah, be careful. Play when you feel good. Play when you're in a good mood. And hopefully you'll get out of that 0 LP stage. So there's your question. Next one by the Kylo. What are my thoughts of the recent support changes on TSM, and why did I had a bad Super Week? And am I going to stream more that now LCS is done before playoffs? So my thoughts on the TSM changes were interesting. You know, Glebe, admittedly, he wasn't a great player. His mechanics were quite poor to LCS level. Obviously, he's miles better than me, miles better than a lot of people. But to LCS level, he wasn't great. He was way too nervous. He didn't engage when he needed to. He just wasn't LCS quality. And I'd actually say that's Westrice as well. He's a top laner for complexity, I think. I don't think he belongs in the LCS either. It's sad, but, you know, it's just simply some people just aren't good enough. Lust Boy, obviously, is a very good support. He proved himself in Korea. But I think it's dumb, all this Korean thing coming over to NA. I really do think it's dumb. Because even though you're probably going to get a better player mechanically, your team play is going to go down. Your communication's going to go down. Because you don't have a you can't simply be friends with somebody you can hardly talk to. So the team morale probably is going to go down. So I've never really been a fan of Loco Doco, and I'm praying to God that they get rid of him, because all I see that's happening is that Loco Doco is going to replace everybody with Koreans. That's all I see that's going to happen. The reason why they had a bad Super Week, I think, is simply because they are getting used to a new support. They're getting used to everything, and everything's changed. You know, Glebe is an English speaker. He was very big in communication. He was actually one of the shot callers for TSM, and now they've totally lost that from their support. So, simple as that. Next question, and probably the final question for this part, is by Guzaz PT. What do I think of the new AP meta champs in the top lane like Gragas or Lulu? Well, the AP meta has actually been around for quite some time. It was basically there to counter the likes of Jax, Renekton, and Shyvana, Trundle. So, you know, Lulu that has been there for quite some time, and I think it's good. It brings diversity to the lane. I love diversity. I'm not somebody that likes, you know, like, say, jungle. There's only 3 competitive picks, or 4. I hate that. I like a lot of more competitive picks. There's not a lot of viable things right now, but it's opening it up. It's making more champions available. It's making it, oh, if that person picks Renekton, I'll pick Lulu and counter him. You know, it's just making it a little bit more diverse, which I love. So anyway, this has been part 1. I'm actually going to record part 2 right after this video. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then I'll record some Gold Platinum later. So anyway, I'll see you guys in part 2. That'll probably be, what will happen, I'll upload this the day I record it, so on the 5th. I'll upload this now. Then I'll do a Gold to Platinum tomorrow, and then I'll upload part 2 the following day. So anyway, I'll see you in part 2, and yeah, goodbye.